Stephen, we've been talking about high-performing teams and the role that Patrick Lencioni's model around the five dysfunctions of teams has in helping leaders really engage with their teams around helping them become high-performing. And today we're going to look at the subject of psychological safety. Now, what does that mean? And then how do you create it, given that it's one of the five pillars that Lencioni tells us is essential?
Yeah, Alex. So Google did a project called Project Aristotle, and they did research over hundreds of teams within their organization. And they were looking for the quality that made high-performing teams. And psychological safety stood out way above the rest. And so what it means is that people feel that they can be who they are and say what they need to say without the fear of being judged, ridiculed, penalized, isolated. So it's important to have that quality in your team.
So safety is one thing, but psychological safety is actually how people are deeply feeling about safety, whether or not it's stated or unstated. I'm sensing that from that. So that sounds like it could be complex. How do you establish where people are on that scale of safety or how they perceive that?
Yeah, important question, Alex. So with teams, what I get leaders to do with their teams is just get the people to identify in maybe some of their personal relationships where they feel really safe. And from that place, what sits in their relationship? What are the qualities? What experiences are they having that has them feel safe? And then we look at their current team, and then how safe do you feel now with that mindset? And so you can do a simple assessment like, scale of 1 to 5, 1, I don't feel safe at all, 5, I feel very, very safe. Or you can line them up on a line. On the one end, I don't feel safe, and on this end, I feel very safe. No judgment, it is what it is. And you get a snapshot assessment of how people feel around safety in their team, because that gives you an opening into what this team needs to work on.
Okay, and the irony of that, Stephen, through my lens here, is that actually doing that in itself could feel unsafe to some people because they could be exposing things that they haven't previously shared with the rest of their team. How do you then do something about it, and then keep people safe within that environment?
So Alex, that's the work. Noticing as a leader, noticing when people are uncomfortable and naming it. The quicker we get at naming where people don't feel safe, that opens the doorway for people to feel more vulnerable. So as a leader, take the lead. Speak to people, speak to the lack of safety, and then have the team start talking about how do we grow safety? What do you need? Personal responsibility from this team to feel safe, because if we feel safe with each other, we'll trust each other more, and now a team can start leaning into handling conflict.
Okay, that's fascinating, Stephen. And as with many of these things, it's actually about bringing those conversations to the table that you may not have had the courage to do before. This is a lovely framework and a really important framework for people to feel comfortable within. Thank you.